Everybody arrived at the start of Raw. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise we wouldn't have Raw, because it would be cooked. Seth Rollins was also dressed like a pelican, because why wouldn't he be? When the New Day turned up, nobody would talk to them, because of course last week they had become mega goobers. I like that a lot. Also, hello my friends, it is I, Simon Miller, the People's Progress Proteus Champion. You can buy this t-shirt now on ProWrestlingTees.com/Simon Miller, because I keep telling you, I am riding this wave all the way to the sea. Or something like that. Don't forget my record is now 3 wins and 0 defenses as well. Sorry, 3 wins and 0 losses in my defenses. This is why I'm definitely going to lose that championship soon. But forget all that, because we are coming to the end of the year. And WWE, I think, are hitting a bunch of home runs, because we just had the go-home episode of Raw for Saturday's main event, and it was pretty damn good. Let's up those downs. Gunther then started off Raw by walking to the ring, mostly because he wanted to recite Undertaker entrance theme lyrics from the 2000s, because he said, Finn Balor, you gotta made a grave mistake. Now, of course, they are going to be fighting this weekend at tonight's main event, because Finn Balor has been such an asshole, and given what he did do at the Survivor Series, Gunther is now ready to kill him. Now, given that he had said his name over and over again, he had instigated Wrestling Rule 14.4, so out came the Judgment Day, and we did some teasing here, because Finn Balor's like, I can't believe you gave a match to Dominic Mysterio. He didn't deserve it. And Dom was right here, could see it in his face. He was like, well, that wasn't very nice. In fact, it was pretty mean. I really don't get what Finn's issue was, because like, dude, you're literally getting your title match in a few days, when Balor also said to Gunther, you wouldn't even be that champion right now if it wasn't for me, because of course I got involved in the Survivor Series. That's the real reason this pay-per-view PLE is going to be different, because 8 years ago, Finn Balor was the champion, and now he's going to be the champion again. Now listen, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll tell you a little secret, I don't think I'd hate it. I also just love Gunther as well, because he flipped his go switch here, because he was like, oh yeah, you did win that title back in 2016, and let me tell you, Finn Balor, back then I really respected you, and now I think you're a piece of trash. This is because he just cuts corners and hangs out with weirdos in a clubhouse and plays second fiddle to Damien Priest. I was like, well, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Gunther then made it clear that fine, sure, one day back in 2016, Finn, you were the best in the world, but I'm the ring general dude, I'm the best in the world for years to come. I was like, well, that's amazing. He got a time machine and now he knows. Wonder if he's going to be able to enjoy the journey. The Day of Judgment were then going to attack, but Damien Priest turned up. That kind of does make sense. We had said his name a lot. The best bit was, eventually, Gunther, Damien Priest, and Finn Balor were in the ring, and Gunther and Damo just ping-ponged him around a bit. Gunther is Gunther, though, whatever that means, and as soon as he could, he also whacked Damien Priest, but that allowed Finn Balor to channel his inner Mario, because my gosh, he was hitting coup de grace versus coup de grace. At one point, he even did one off the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, which means his feet would have been even more assured, and that makes for an even more devastating stomp. Don't get mad at me, that's called science. My favorite thing about all of this too is the fans do not know how to react to Gunther, because he's just Gunther, man, but that worked, and it meant that Finn Balor ended this segment standing tall. And I went into my wrestling tropes book, and that means he is definitely not winning a Saturday night's main event. We also zoomed backstage after this, and Adam Pearce then decided, let me rip up the playbook, because now the World Championship match on Saturday is going to be Damien Priest versus Gunther versus Finn Balor, so we've turned it into a 3-way, and Finn was fine with that, but he wasn't fine when Adam said also the week after this, you're going to have to defend your tag team titles against the War Raiders. He was like, oh, man, I wanted to go to Disneyland. The Judgment Day is also going to be banned from ringside for that match. And what I would do is I would have Eric and Ivar win, and then I would have the New Day take those belts off them, and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston should hold those for around about 82 years. Liv Morgan also then walked in and took a shot, man. I mean, she actually said, oh, yeah, if you go with Finn, you may not win. So she took his brand new catchphrase and reversed it on it, which he shouldn't have done. I just thought it was a very good opening to Raw. It was very fun, and we continue to tell you that the Judgment Day is not long for this world. Give it an up. When the surprises kept on coming. Because it was the final Testament versus the Wyatt Sicks, and this was very interesting because you never really see these guys fight, especially not on TV. In fact, to get the Wyatts on your television, you basically have to send them an invite 6 months prior. It was really cool though, because Bo Dallas had the rocking chair at ringside and basically talked to it like Bray Wyatt was there, so that hit me in the tum-tum. when the bell rang, these guys just whooped each other's ass. And thank goodness the Miz is with Karrion Kross too, because he basically saved Karrion straight off the bat. But still, not even the final Testament could handle the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, the commercial break. When we came back from the advert, Joe Gacy was in control. He made the hot tag to Eric Rowan, who thought about it and then decided, you know what? I think I'm going to run wild. So he made super fast work of The Miz, but then the Authors of Pain were here, and they were writing a new chapter before they got cut off by Dexter Lumis. I mean, I guess he doesn't like books. Uncle Howdy then used his superpowers to take over, but Scarlett didn't care about that because she tripped this guy when Nikki Cross teleported to behind Anna the announce table and eventually attacked Scarlett. I just want to give a round of applause to Scarlett because she sold this so well. Like, if you are going to be taken on the Wyatts, you should be scared of them. She acted like she was about to die. Howdy was then ready for Sister Abigail Part 2, but once again Miss made the save when it turned out WWE did have a big old plan, and it was an elderly gentleman. Because from nowhere Paul Ellering was back, he decided to throw powder into Uncle Howdy's eyes, and I suppose that mask doesn't protect him when Karrion Kross hit his version of the F5, and they beat the Wyatt Sicks. I was like, hot damn, man. I didn't see that coming. So it was more story than match, sure, and the Paul Ellering thing was a little bit too WWE for reasons we'll get into later. But man, I don't care who wins and loses really when you break it right down. I just want to be shocked, and I just want to enjoy myself. That's what we did here. What the flub are we going to do for the rematch? It probably has to have a stipulation. I had a good time. Up. When Raw took a giant leap forward. Before we were having a sit down with CM Punk, and forget wrestling, I think he just told the truth, or at least the truth from his perspective. Now, Punk was worried that Jackie Redmond was going to be talking about the Chicago Blackhawks, because of course they suck right now, but no, Jackie wants to talk about Seth Rollins. I was like, good. Can you imagine if they had a 5-minute chat about hockey? The internet would have melted down. Now, Redmond also wanted to know what this favor was with CM Punk and Paul Heyman. Punk was like, we'll get to that down the line. When he admitted, listen, man, I don't know why Seth Rollins hates me. I mean, I most definitely don't hate him. He then mentioned how a 16-year-old Seth actually had come to Punk and asked for training, which he did give him for free. So maybe it's this entitled attitude that has taken over his brain. I mean, Seth Rollins just wants to be involved in everybody's top 10 of all time lists. But at one point, he was on a top 10 list of most likely to be fired. Like, man, we are not in Kansas anymore, Toho. It was Punk that shielded him from that, and yes, that was a pun. So I guess ever since then, Seth Rollins has been living in CM's shadow. That must be really hard for the guy. And that's because everything Seth has done, Punk did first, and he did it better. So while Rollins did a great job in taking care of the WWE when he was away, CM Punk, for starter, is now back. So Seth better go sit on the bench. I think Seth Rollins is going to appreciate this. So of course this was good. CM Punk is just the master of making you go, I actually don't think he doesn't like this guy. It was gibberish that came out of my mouth, but you can believe the hate. That really is his magic. Maybe it's because there is real beef here. But I don't care, man. I'm just somebody watching this from home, and it actually gets even better later. This is Get It Up. When Liv Morgan defeated Dakota Kai in a non-title match. Why? Now I'm going to put a quick down here, to be honest, because Dakota Kai just qualified for the next round of the IC Women's Title Tournament, and now she's just randomly losing on Raw. Now, in one way, this may be quite good, because if WWE has decided that Dakota is going to become the first ever Intercontinental Champion, then they would have her lose, but at the same time, it'd be much better if she just won and went on a momentum tear. So I've kind of been a hypocrite because I just said wins and losses don't matter, but it all depends on the context, man. This one's a down. Now I do totally get it because, of course, Liv Morgan is facing Io Sky at Saturday Night's main event, and Dakota Kai is in Damage Control with Io Sky. So this was just a nice way to tie it all together and to give Io Sky a win. Not Io Sky. Liv, what is happening with my brain? Of course, about 2 minutes into this, the Pure Fusion Collective came to the ring. Because why wouldn't you do that? I mean, rather than come out at the start, Sonya Deville probably went, listen guys, we're going to give it 120 seconds and then we'll go out there. That's a flubbing good plan. Or maybe their TV broke in the back or their necks hurt from trying to watch TV from a wrestling angle, which is when Liv tried to do the Three Amigos, but Dakota Kai cut it off. So we're not going to call it Three Amigos anymore. We are going to call it the 2.5 Amigos. That always happens. Oh, of course, Kai then got distracted because there were other wrestlers outside of the ring. And you know what a wrestler's brain does. It's all like, oh my gosh, there's other humans out there. What should I do? I'm like, I know an answer. Why don't you just keep fighting your opponent? Liv then flew with a code breaker, but Dakota actually came back with a bomb of power when Sonya Deville just got up on the apron. I was like, referee, you gonna do anything? Do you care, referee? Then I realised I was just yelling at a wall, but they didn't do shit. It also meant that Kai missed her big boot, so Liv hit the Oblivion, and she got the 1-2-3, snap, bang, walla. Of course, the Pokemon Collective attacked Dakota after this, so Io Sky could come out to make the save. But the very interesting part is that when Io was doing this, Liv Morgan attacked her from behind, so it was actually Liv Morgan standing tall, and once again, if you go back to wrestling tropes, that could mean that she would lose at the weekend. And something happens later, and that doesn't matter anyway. I did think that was smart, though, because it did make you think twice as if you were Celine Dion. Now listen, I don't think Io Sky will win the weekend, but I believe more now. That's what all wrestling companies should be doing. We have a fight, add in the jeopardy. This was fine. There is just way too many distractions, though. We had one in the first match, we had one in the second match, we basically have them in every other single match that is coming along. The WWE is just using it as a crutch at the moment, and now I expect it, and you never want to enter those waters. It's not a massive deal, they're still entertaining, they still are fun, but I can't unsee it now. Down. When? I think he did it. I mean, AJ Styles ran him close, and the New Day last week decided they were going to try and get this award. But nope, in terms of the Hater of the Year 2024, I think it has to go to Drew McIntyre. This is because he did this great video explaining that after Hell in a Cell, he had to go away for a while. Because 1, he had a big old bloody head. 2, he needed to take care of his family. But also 3, he had to ponder on his year. Because maybe, just maybe, he was wrong. Then he turned on the Survivor Series and he saw Jey Uso and Sami Zayn team up with Roman Reigns. He was like, nope, I was 100% right. These guys are a couple of goobers. I mean, at least CM Punk took a bribe. What the hell are Jey and Sami doing? They sold out for nothing. That means while he can't change the past, he's definitely going to control the future. Listen, I am running a poll for rest of the year at the moment on my social media, and Drew McIntyre is right up there. When I'm talking right up there, we're talking about 0.1%, and that just goes to show that he has been tremendous in 2024, as he was here. He is the Hater of the Year. Well done, Drew. And he's getting it up. We then saw Cody Rhodes leaving Adam Pearce's office, I presume because they were talking about the transfer window, in case Cody wants to come to Raw, when he saw the New Day, and he turned into their dad and went, man, everyone is just so ashamed of you. So I just love the way this stretches across the entire roster. Xavier Woods was even like, that guy. I knew him in high school, and he was a terrible dude. That's actually true. They've talked about this before. So their feud now goes back 25 years. I mean, that's some really good long-term booking. I think this whole time Seth Rollins was just in the back going, man, I'm so mad about what CM Punk had said, because his entrance music hit, and he decided to, I'd say, walk to the ring. That's not true. He kind of dances and prances. He's a bit like a duck. And he didn't hold back at all, because he was like, oh, well, we all heard what CM Punk says. At least we know when he retires from wrestling, he's going to have a great job waiting, because no one is better at spinning the truth than him. He could be a politician. Because he is nothing but a fraud and a con man, because sure, he did go and get training from CM Punk, and he did look up to him as a mentor, but also, big surprise, they were friends. Which meant when CM Punk walked out of WWE and Seth tried to contact him and he got nothing back, he was wounded deep down in his tum-tum. It wasn't just Seth Rollins, this was the entire locker room, because as always, oh my gosh, if we don't follow CM Punk and we don't believe in what CM Punk believes, we'll have to suffer too. That's the actions of a crazy person. Now I actually think this is true as well. I do believe this to be a true story. When Seth was also like, and let's track what CM Punk did since then, he ran down the company and he would always go where the money was, because once again, that guy's got no depth. They made it clear that whatever Punk had done in wrestling, Seth had done it twice as good. And oh yeah, CM Punk, you never main evented WrestleMania, and this guy has. Last night, that's it. That's really going to annoy CM Punk. He's very serious about that. Now, I also assume that Sami Zayn must have been backstage feeling guilty, because he came to the ring and he actually apologized to Seth for what happened last week, because he didn't realize his issues with CM Punk ran so deep. I was like, Sam, come here. You must have a phone, or you must have some way to contact Seth Rollins. You could have messaged him. Now, Rollins was kind of still upset about this, because he's like, man, our kids play together. We're meant to be friends. Why the hell did you accuse me of attacking Jey Uso? Sami made it very clear, because, man, CM Punk gets in your head and you become the worst version of yourself. and in fact, you're a little bit like Drew McIntyre. Zayn still admitted that he shouldn't have got involved, and they did shake hands and make up. When Sam was like, listen, I don't want to drag this out. My face already hurts when you booted it last week, Drew McIntyre. So I have talked to Adam Pearce, and at Saturday night's main event, it's going to be you versus me. I was like, hot damn, that's fast. Oh, of course, you can't say those words on a wrestling show without paying for it instantly. So when Zayn was walking to the back, Drew did turn up and claymored this guy right in the nose, and he put the boots to him. Officials eventually broke this up, so they did do their job, and I tell you, I was thinking about this. I actually think it does make Saturday night's main event loads better. That's another match where you can argue it either way. I think Drew will win. I also love how this flowed, because all these people are having feuds, but they're also having feuds while other people are having feuds, but they all talk about it, and that's what would happen in real life, man. So yeah, when you take this in the CM Punk segment, they're two massive home runs. Let's gig it up. It was indeed time for the Women's IC title tournament after this, and I cannot tell a lie. It's kind of a little bit of a shame. It is exactly the same as SmackDown. It just feels too familiar. It was Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile versus Zelina Vega, though, and I can't get mad at that, because that's three people who do deserve to shine. Nile and Lyra started throwing bones at each other when Zelina came in with that old senton, which I think she must have learned from the Street Fighter tournament, and Vega also did that sliding powerbomb thing. I mean, that really is a cool maneuver. We then got the I go, you go, we all go, whips bang, here you nan, when Ivy Nile just started German suplexing everyone. So Zelina decided, well, I'm going to hit you with a code red, and she did get a 1-2 ooh. Lyra broke it up. It really worked for her too, because Valkyria then hit the Nightwing onto Ivy, and she got the 1-2-3. It was that easy. Maybe she's going to win. I actually think you could give her the title as well, because it would cement her as a big deal. And the moment her call up from NXT has not been what we all thought it was going to be. But otherwise, yeah, this was fun. I do think it's important that the women have these secondary title belts, but it is just feeling a little bit lackluster. As long as we get to the end of this and we do crown someone, it will be okay. Give it an up. When we got to something that is bothering me a lot. Because you know, sometimes you watch a bad movie and it's so bad it becomes good. Well, apparently this also works when two people are such massive goobers and they're such massive dickheads that for some reason you start respecting how awful they are become and you sort of fall in love with them. So, sorry, Big E, but I really like the New Day. I mean, Kevin Kelly was interviewing them backstage, but Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods didn't like how loud the fans were being, because they were going boo, and they weren't saying boo-earns, so they decided to hide to the ring. And Xavier Woods even took the camera from the camera operator. I mean, that was just a ridiculous thing to do. The New Day sucks chants are back, which is absolutely incredible, all things considered, and Kofi was like, what the flub is this? 10 years of positivity and you turn on us after one day? I was like, I mean, he does have a very good point. And then also got the Big E chant, and Xavier Woods was saying we didn't even do anything to that guy. Once again, he's not exactly telling a lie, it's somewhere in the middle. Kofi then made it clear that they could have smashed Big E with a chair or even hit him with a sledgehammer in the skull. That just made me laugh. I was like, that's a totally unhinged thing to say. He was going to come up with more of these scenarios too, but he decided not to. And given that Xavier couldn't speak either, they just went, you know what, screw all of you fans, and they walked to the back. I mean, this was so damn good. If I had told you a month ago this was the kind of response the New Day were going to get, you would have slapped me around the face. So from nowhere, it has become some of the best stuff of 2024, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. That's the whole point, man. It's an entertainment show, and they are such good performers. When we got to our main event, which was an anything goes match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea just got in the ring and she shot her. I mean, it is anything goes. I mean, that didn't happen, and instead Rhea did attack Raquel during the entrance, where essentially they went, well, I hate you and you hate me, but as we have discussed, we also don't like chairs, so let's use as many chairs as humanly possible. They were also booing each other in the face, using Tina the Turnbuckle and using Al in the announce table. And even after this one point, when something went skiffy with a chair, Rhea just got another chair and leveled Raquel. I want to tell you this. Just let Rhea Ripley wrestle, man. She is so damn good. And it's actually quite hard in wrestling these days to come across like a badass, but I tell you, Ripley does it effortlessly. Oh, of course, Liv Morgan then ran out because Raw is interference, and it totally worked. Because Raquel grabbed Rhea, who was totally like, what's going on? Surprise, surprise, she threw her into more chairs. Rhea then escaped the Tijuana bomb and she headbutted Raquel right in the face. But just as she was going for the riptide, I give you 3 guesses as to what happened. 1, she hit it and was victorious. 2, Raquel wiggled out of it. Or 3, Liv Morgan got involved. If you didn't say 3, you're not watching Raw. So I really do need Rhea to beat Liv for the title very soon, or for WWE to just calm it down with these distractions. And she even hit the Oblivion onto Ripley, which is when Io Sky ran out. I mean, there's no rules in WWE. She dove onto Liv though to take her out of the game, when Ripley just hurled Raquel into a chair in the shoulder, when she must have gone, you know what goes well with a chair? It's tables. She gave her a riptide through the wood. 1, 2, 3. So that was a really fun match, and afterwards too, Ripley went to grab the belt, but so did Io Sky. So Raw ended with them staring at each other. So it's kind of put that idea in your head that maybe Io Sky could win at Saturday Night's main event, and we do the Rhea feud there. Now I wouldn't do that, and instead I make sure Rhea Ripley beats Liv Morgan, probably on that January 6th Netflix show, and then you go into Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, and you damn right, that's a match I want to see. So I really did like this again. It was just so damn entertaining. Rhea Ripley, if we continue doing this, is going to become an even bigger star. I don't care, man. I am giving it up. Which brought us to the end of Raw, and as we talked about earlier on, I think they did a very good job in making you excited for Saturday night's main event, especially because we have added Drew versus Sami. Who the flub knows what we're going to do on Friday, but Raw this week is getting up. Now, of course, my friends, let me know how wrong I am in the comments below. Click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs for SmackDown, to get all of my opinions. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And I will see you throughout the week, because that's my job, which is dumb to be completely honest with you, but I'll see you then.